Half a day, namaste, and thank you for tuning in today, Guahan and beyond. I'm Clare Calvo, and this is Conscious Living. I am here today. It's the new year. This is our first podcast on conscious living in 2020, the new year, the new decade, and what better way to ring it in with two very special ladies who I've known for well over a decade, maybe almost 2 decades, my partners at Synergy Studios and Fitness and Wellness, Judy, Rosario, and Reyes. Thanks for joining today, guys.
Half a day, thank you.
So today we're talking about the synergy between fitness and wellness. So, you know, our motto has always been where fitness meets wellness, and moving into this new decade, we've taken it one step further to commit to be fit, compel to be well. So before we get into the whole synergy of synergy, I just want to ask about you guys individually. So, Jude, share your fitness and wellness journey. What got you motivated? What got you inspired?
Okay, well, I started mine about 15 years ago, and it's interesting because my inspiration came from obviously you two ladies. So it's a funny story. I was always Claire always came back and forth from Guam and California, and so she gave these really neat classes with when she got certified in Taibo. And so I remember growing up, my sister, my brother, and I, we'd always try to go to the class and we make little bets. Okay, who's going to die out first? Or, you know, whoever lasts longer is going to get this, or whoever dies out first is going to have to treat for dinner, or whatever the case may be. And so Claire's kind of been in, just in our lives as our fitness coach when we were in high school. And then after we got out of high school, I started working out at another gym. And that's where I met Lily, because we called each other our locker room friends. And so we kind of developed a relationship just there, just in passing. And then one day I just, she came into the locker room and I said, oh, I didn't see you earlier. And she said, oh, that's because I joined the Synergy boot camp that Claire's doing. And I was like, oh, I love when Claire's on Guam. So she said, why don't you come and join the, you know, we just started today, but just jump in the boot camp tomorrow. And it was a 3-week program. So I did. And then from the day I stepped into Synergy that day for my very first boot camp, I never left, and I'm still here.
And now you're an owner. Yes. and have been an instructor since. So it's interesting that boot camps, that's what I think a lot of people in the very beginning got people hooked, and it's important, you know, that we continue with it, because up till today, that's still one of the strongest points at Synergy, or one of the strongest programs. And there was research that actually showed from Journal of Sports Sciences that found when people, like, working out is great on your own, but when you have a partner or you come into a group exercise, when you're in a group, your endurance goes up, your everything about your performance is just taken to the next level. And they say it has something to, you know, there's a lot of different factors, but one of them is they call it social comparison theory, where you're in an environment and you're kind of like, you're not doing it just for yourself, but you're doing it for your ego too, right? And to keep up with everyone else. And I think also just the heightened energy.
It becomes like a community thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're held accountable.
Yes, and you have people like, okay, you know, if you don't show up, or if you want to wake up late or not go there if it's an early morning, like Judy's freaking 5 a.m. ones, you feel almost like, man, I'm not like, you're just not letting yourself down. You're like, man, all my other partners, you know, or all my other workout mates.
And I think ultimately everyone knows the results of working out and having a nice, healthy, nutritional diet, and a way of life, right? So I think understanding that and doing it socially in a group, you see other improvements and the changes that other people have, and you know, you kind of want to be a part of that vibe and that growth. And so I think that's why, you know, for Synergy for so long we've always had compartmentalized classes, right? And that's how we started, you know, for the first 13 years of Synergy. And I think that's really what worked, is, you know, coming together and being able to encourage each other, to synergize.
And I'm glad you said that, because whether it's the boot camps or it's the detoxes, the different events that we've held, or even the Soulcation when we do the yoga retreats, what people find is like coming together to take the actual class is great, but the camaraderie and like the connections and bonds they make, because you think about it, we learn just as much from each other, like even as students, or as you do from the actual instructor, because you're all, you know, you're inspired by others. You see like someone else who's maybe started the boot camp or the detox that like with a longer way to go maybe than you did, and it inspires you to even push further. So I don't know who that is. Anyway, is that you? between, so these two amazing ladies, aside from being instructors and managing the synergy and instructors, and owners, they also have like day jobs, and like Judy has 3 kids, Lily has, you know, her parents, and now just her mom that she looks after. I have both a child who's might as well be 3 in 1 and parents. So we have like other, and I want to get to that later, just like how you're able to juggle everything. But before we get to that, Lils, what is your motivation, inspiration, and what got you into this journey?
Well, it's funny how I met you. You know, I was coming back home 2004. I came back to Guam after living in California for 16 years. I was an instructor at 24-Hour Fitness, LAX, different 24-hour fitnesses. And so in moving back to Guam, I was like, oh, I wonder what they have on Guam. Probably just have one gym.
After how long?
After 16 years. I was gone for 16 years. And then I was just Google searching, and then Synergy popped up. And I totally loved the vibe, and I said, this is where I have to be. I was really into, I was kind of like half into yoga. So I said, you know, this is going to be something new for me. Let's see what Guam has in terms of the gyms, the exercise programs. I was really impressed. I was teaching at another gym. I was hired on at another gym, but then I was always going to Synergy. And then I still hadn't met you, had heard about you, and I was at another gym, same gym where we met, and another instructor said, hey, have you met Claire? And I'm like, no, I haven't. So that's how I met you. And then...
It was Nick's, right?
Nick Sticks. Yes, Nicole. And then all of a sudden I was teaching at Synergy, I was doing the book, and I called Judy over, I'm like, hey, and then it was just funny how you have the 3 of us doing the 5 a.m. classes, and that's how everything started. And you know, to this day, what I love about Synergy, like Judy said, is that vibe. It's that energy. It attracts certain people. I mean, we still get people from off island that go on our website, that call us, that text us, and they say, you know, there's something so different about Synergy from all the other gyms that are out there.
Yeah.
You know,
You're saying about the ones who've come and then left back off island.
Yes.
Yeah, especially those who, a lot of our yoga clients that have been with us from the very beginning, 2004. Yeah, they've gone out to the different states, and we still get those nice emails letting us know that we have amazing instructors and staff and owners.
And what's amazing is, despite the changes in our lifestyle and whatever happens, I mean, people always forget, and I always say this, I'm just like, there's an age gap between all of us, but people always ask, you know, you got Synergy's been around for 15 years, and you guys have been co-owners, partners for this amount of time. How do you guys do it? And I said, you know, there's an age gap. There's a different way of thinking. And I said, but at the end of the day, we agree to disagree, and the bottom line is that despite everything else, we have to think about our members. We have to think about our mission. We have to think about what can we offer that's different from all the rest. And I remember even just, it comes back to me doing the detox, how we started 2006, and we were trying to keep up with the times and saying, people want easy, fast detoxes. Let's try the 7-day. Let's try the 14-day.
Yeah.
Here we are. We start in 2019. We decided, you know what? No more. Let's go back to 21 days. There's a reason why, and we still attract that select group.
Because it's about leveling up. I think we were trying to make it easy for everyone, but the thing is, you don't get easy results. I mean, like, taking the easy path is great, but sometimes when you try to do something too quick or too easy, you're going to lose it just as quick and easy. So yeah, going back to what's tried and truth and how it was actually created. But you brought up a point about the age. Yeah, right? And of course, you know, we're living in a time where, my gosh, that was 15 years ago. And it's hard, you know, I'm 45 now, gonna be 46 soon. And to think that I started when I turned 30, moved back here. And now, is it okay if we, like, you know, you're in your 30s, I'm in my 40s, you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
And when I took Christina's class the other day, so Christina teaches a classic fit and a center fit or flow fit class. She appeals, what was great about it, and it made me, afterwards I was like driving, like kind of reflecting on it, like, where else can you find a class or just an environment that you don't feel the ageism, you don't feel the sexism, you don't feel, because really, I was in that class with someone younger than me, probably in her 30s. I was in that class, I mean, I think there's everyone in her class from 20s all the way up, I think the oldest one is 79. And you don't feel like I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, this is like, you know, I didn't feel like I didn't get a good workout. I got an excellent workout. and she creates it so that everyone is doing, she can cater to whatever level you're at. And her music is, you know, that's the other thing, having the right kind of, you know, like inspirational, motivational, pumped up music. So she did a great job of appealing to all age groups. And I think, you know, for the most part, all of our classes really have that age gap. You know, there's some classes that probably just appeal more to, like, you know, one targeted age group, like maybe downstairs. Would you say like the CrossFit?
Yeah, like our CrossFit, definitely our CrossFit. We get a lot more of the younger crowd.
Yeah.
But definitely I think as we progress, right, and as we age, we have to be a little bit more careful. You know, can we have such high impact on our knees or our ankles or, you know, our hips and things like that. And so, you know, throughout the years, we've introduced so many classes that tailor to, you know, the culture, the environment, and, you know, where we progress in fitness.
Right.
Recently, we've added Tahitian Fit. We've also added aqua classes. We have yoga for all different levels. And then in addition to that, one of the things that Lily and I have always wanted to open and introduce to the studio is our cycling classes, the center cycles. And, you know, just throughout, whether you were an athlete, but, you know, you're a little bit hard on your body.
Right.
Especially if you go to the gym a lot. And so eventually when you progress, you have to be a little bit more careful, whether it's your knees or your hips. And I experienced that. So for me, having to transition and away from the CrossFit-like classes and go into a more center cycle so that I'm not so heavy on my knees, you know, I started realizing, and, you know, I started becoming the member of the studio. And I think that was really important for us, is that we don't only come in as owners or as instructors, but we also take the classes. And we get, you know, we get our heart rate pumping through the gym.
Because it's true. Every so often I'll drop into our East Sagatnya, our satellite location, for a yoga class, and, you know, sometimes Dennis is like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in months, but it's nice and it's important that we, you know, go back and try all of our other classes, because we get so bogged down sometimes, I think, just in our lives and coming, and we do our class, you know, teach our classes and leave. But what's great is, I think, even just since we've moved to our new location, we have become a lot more involved as not just instructors and owners, but also as members.
Involved and visible. And I think the fact that, where are you going to get 3 co-owners who are there throughout the day, that are not only taking the classes, but we're listening to our clientele, we're listening to what people want. And it's like, I think especially with the Classic Fit, someone came up to us and said, hey, we can't find a class or a gym that can accommodate our needs. Now, when we say Classic Fit, you know, these are still people that are very active. They lead active lifestyles. They want to work out. We're not going to change the intensity, but they want to work out. They want to get their body pumping, but within a certain range, given modifications. You know, we took it to a whole nother level. We hired a specific instructor, and we said, you know, this is what we need. And now look, it's 3 days a week. It's now changed into a Pure Fit class, wherein it doesn't matter what age level.
Flow Fit.
Flow Fit. Pure Fit, Flow Fit. It's great, and that's what's great about Synergy, is that we're always changing, but we're mindful of how we're changing, and we're listening to our clientele, and we're also listening to each other, and we're maintaining the lines of communication and what are the demands of the community.
Right. And yeah, that's important that you also brought that up, demands of the community, because another thing is, from the very beginning, from inception 2004, we've always offered community-based classes, free classes, donation-based classes, and those are ongoing. And I think a lot of times, you know, people, we get a lot of requests about discounts here, and that's, we love as much as we can to give deals here and there, but that's why a lot of times I'm like, hey, we have these 3 classes a week where you can go, 3 yoga classes, 1 Zumba class, that these are donation-based, no profits, nothing comes to us, even though we have our electricity on, even though we have the music and the lights on. This is our way of giving back to the community. But then Judy, you also said about, as we are, actually both did, as years go by and we're evolving and we're kind of needing to take better care of our bodies. Even honestly, in my 20s and 30s, I wasn't thinking about recovery. I'm like, recovery, I'll go get a massage once a week, that's recovery. But now, because we see the results of years and years of impact and of just, you know, high intensity workout, how it affects the body, we also have, well, last year, 2 years ago, we had the Synergy Wellness on to the side. But exciting news is this year it's all under one umbrella of Synergy. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're merging the 2 companies together, and I think, you know, for forever. I mean, just since the time of inception. You know, when you first opened the company, it was always about, you know, wellness and fitness, and where wellness meets fitness, where fitness meets wellness. You know, and I think you need both components to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. You know, the more you pound the body, the more you're going to need the wellness portion of the business or for yourself.
Right.
And you know, when wellness opened last year, it was a great hit. It was all about recovery and, you know, sore muscles, being able to just breathe. You know, we have 2 infrared saunas, and infrared saunas, you know, are a little bit different. We're one of, I think, 2 companies that have it here in Guam. And the difference between the infrared sauna and your traditional saunas of, you know, just letting you sweat and you get a lot of water weight off of your body is that the infrared sauna targets the fat cells inside, and it breaks it up. So, you know, we don't only look at just, you know, massages and cupping and things like that, but we're looking at the Normatec and, you know, compression and wellness and mind, body, energy. And that's really what differentiates Synergy from a lot of other studios here in Guam, is that we are holistic. It's about the mind, the body, the energy, the whole well-being.
Right.
Through yoga, through meditation, through wellness. And so this year, it's actually we're going to be launching on the 15th our new rates. So obviously we're going to have rates for both the fitness side and the wellness side separately. Fitness side will be $60 for unlimited, and that includes all our hours of operation, whether you want to take any unlimited class. And we have over 250 classes throughout the month, and that's $60 for just unlimited. On the wellness side, we have a 9-session pass, which is about 180 minutes, and that's $52. So still of a deal. Usually that's $180 just at cost. So if you just walked in and you weren't a member.
Right.
But this year we have 3 different packages aside from just, you know, separate memberships for each location. Is we have a silver, we have a gold, and we have the platinum. We have the platinum rates. The silver is going to be our unlimited classes with 3 sessions, or equivalent to 60 minutes of wellness, and that's $80. We have the gold, which is valued at $160, but it is discounted to $110, and that gives you 5 sessions or 100 minutes of wellness and unlimited passes to the fitness studio. And then our ultimate plan is our platinum plan, and that's worth $240. And so you get a significant cost savings with that. We're going to be selling that package at $125, and you get 9 sessions. Over $100. But you get 9 sessions of the wellness studio, and then you get unlimited classes. So, you know, our hope is.
And you said how many classes?
We have over 250. Yeah. And that includes, I mean, we have an array of classes from center cycle to cardio circuit to tread and shred, CrossFit, boxing, kids boxing, aqua classes, yoga classes, Pilates yoga, Payo, and then we also have TRX, and just cardio circuit classes. So, I mean, just
and
of course our dance side, which is Tahitian. We also have Zumba, and then we also have a center dance, and then we just recently added with Galley. We added the Latin dance. So that's been a lot of fun, but you know, a lot of different components, from wellness to cardio to dance to you know, to yoga, and it just, we've really been able to put a really great product together. And a lot of it is because I think for all 3 of us, we share the same goals that we want for the community. It's just a healthier, more active community, and really that's why we put the classes together, and that's why we, you know, that was really the birth and the continuation of Synergy.
Yeah. And what's great is if you're not like a groupie, you don't want to do the classes, you can do open gym. You can come in, you know, between the hours from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. and the gym is your space. And you can do cycling on your own, you can go downstairs and do CrossFit, you can do whatever it is. And I think a lot of people like the fact that they can come in whenever they want at their leisure during their break and do a workout, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then go take a shower, then go back to work or go back to life.
Right. Well, another unique thing is that most gyms or fitness studios, you have to commit to a membership, and at Synergy you could also purchase class cards. So, and then what are those? It's 10.
There's a 20-day, and then there's monthly and limited.
So we have 10-day sessions. And
it doesn't have to be consecutive.
And it doesn't have to be consecutive. but you buy it in advance. Usually our drop-in classes for cardio is $15 each. The yoga is about $20, and these are highly discounted highly discounted cards. So you can sign up and get a 10 pass. And we get a lot of people that are either just visiting, or a lot of our pilots here on Guam who are taking yoga and things like that. And you know, they're not always on Guam. They really take advantage of our class schedule, or our class pass.
Our class passes. So I was reading something about a week ago about the difference between motivation and inspiration, and it got me like really thinking, because you know, a lot of times we think about motivating others or motivating ourselves, but especially when it comes, this is a new year. But I feel like a lot of times, whether it's a boot camp or just our classes or detox, you're really pulling from a place of inspiration. Because I think motivation for me feels kind of like you're getting pushed to do something, whereas inspiration feels like more of like a calling, like a pull. So I went online really quick, and I just wanted to know, because I never really thought about finding out the definition of each. So motivation is the reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way, the general desire or willingness of someone to do something. Whereas inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. And that's why I felt that one resonated a lot. I mean, of course, we both, you know, there's a fine line between it, but it kind of vacillates between, like for me, I feel like when I think of, both of you guys have full-time jobs. Jude's has, you know, you have 3 kids, and granted, you know, you have a family that helps, but three boys at that, active boys, and a full-time job, and then you also have your role at Synergy as an instructor, an owner, and management. Where in Lil's, again, you have a full-time job, you're caring for your mom, and you know, you have your wifely duties as well, and you know, again, you're also an instructor, an owner, and the management at Synergy. So I'm feeling like motivation's one thing, but there's got to be like, to me, it's deeper. It's like an inspiration that calls you to continue, because there's been a few times these past few years where things got really hard, I think, for all of us in our lives. And there was a point, more than a few times, where I've called you guys, or on our chat was like, yo, buy my shares, I'm done, I don't think I could do this anymore. And both of you are like, Claire, okay, take a deep breath, give it a day or two, and rethink that, because that shit ain't happening. So can you share, like, on a deeper level, what inspires you to keep doing what you're doing? How do you keep it fresh, number one? How do you come and teach a class every day and keep it fresh and stay sane with everything going on at home and at work? Everything going on at home and at work. Because both of you guys have not just jobs, but like high stress jobs. So how do you stay inspired? Like, why do you do what you do, basically?
Because I don't want to say I have no other choice, but every day that I come in, if I can make, and I tell myself this, if I can make a difference in at least one person's life, and I've always said this, and I've been teaching for 30 plus years, and I can always get that one person, and it's like this year, well, this last 2 years, it's been Mama Z. Everybody knows Mama Z, and she inspires me, and she motivates me, because
she's how old?
She's like 75, 76. And here's a woman who, she was coerced into taking a yoga class. She was diagnosed with diabetes, and they put her like under 10 different medications, and her friend took her to yoga class. She fell asleep. She was snoring away. So then she said, I can't do this. I need to go to the cardio side. So she took Say's cardio boxing class. She did that. She loved it. And then she peaked. This is in the old Mighty Studio. She peaked.
Wait, really quick. Say is not like a low intensity.
Oh, no.
He's hardcore.
He's
and this
intense.
woman was like 70.
She's like
76.
Yeah. So she took that class, and then she noticed the cycling class, everyone would come out drenched. So she asked one of the staff, you think I can handle that? And then they told her, as long as you listen to Lily, you won't die. And she was like, what, I could die? And they're like teasing her, and they said, no, you'll be fine, just listen to Lily. So she took the class, and then she became addicted to like all these hard, intense classes. And I asked her, why do you continue to do this? Then she said, because it makes me feel good. And she said, ever since I've come to Synergy, I'm down to like 5 medications, and my doctor tells me, continue to do what I do, and I will continue to live a long life. Last year was her first time to travel. Her kids paid for her for like, I don't know, they went to Africa, they went to Europe.
Wow.
And she was never able to travel and do all that. So she was so happy that she continues to be active despite the fact that, you know, she has sometimes arthritic joints, she can't move as much, but to go from 10 medications down to now 5, and she said if she misses a class, she even said that she goes into a state of depression because she needs to surround herself by a community of people, and it doesn't matter what age. I always use her as an example, and I love doing it because I'll get a 20-year-old who taps out during cycling, and I turn around, I'm like, you know how old this woman is? Do you know how old this woman is? You are not going to tap out. Use her as an example. Use her as an inspiration. And that's what inspires me.
Yeah. Mama
Z and people who come in and, you know, you get to know your students. And I know when someone's having a bad day because they're on the bike, they're somewhere else, and I'm like, hey, come on, bring it back into the room.
Right.
1 hour to take care of yourself. I was always taught that it was selfish to not take care of other people, and you know, you need to forget about yourself. I've turned that around, and I always tell myself, and I tell everyone that comes to work out, before you can take care of the people that you love, you need to first and foremost take care of you. So thank you for being here, for being present in this moment, for the 1 hour that you're here, so you can take care of your family, your parents.
Yeah.
So that's what
you brought up a good point, because with the Mama Z, right? She was already starting like I guess a food. She changed her diet because of the diabetes somewhere else, and you know that was, you know, it was maintaining, but she was still on 10 meds. Then she started exercising, and that helped. But I truly believe exercise and nutrition are wonderful, but there's still that other component of just having your spirits lifted and having the, you know, being in a good energy community. And I think that's another thing that she finds there. She has a camaraderie, and she has the good energy vibe of the people around her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everyone looks up to her.
And that's why, so recently we can talk about anything, but basically, you know, we're with a specific insurance carrier, and when they weren't awarded a contract, seeing so many of those people, I mean, we've had, I don't know how many people come to us, like, some in tears, like, I don't want to leave, you know, how could we do this? And they were given a deal, right? Yes. Those who were with us for over a certain amount of years.
Mama Z was
one of them.
She actually called me, and she was in tears, and she said she was worried, she was depressed, and she said she actually prayed about it. And then she said the day that I called her, mind you, I was looking for her, I was trying to contact her, she wasn't answering her phone, and she said she was guarding, that's why she could hear her phone ring. The one day that I called her at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I said, you've been with us for more than 5 years, we are willing to give you what we call a loyalty membership. Yeah. Cricket, silence, hello, Mama Z, hello, Mama Z. And then all I heard was tears. Yeah. Start crying too. And then she said to me, you are the sign. And I said, what are you talking about? She said all week she had been praying, and she said, you know, God, if you need to help me figure this out. I'll go to another gym if I have to, because my health is important. But I honestly believe I belong at Synergy. And so when she got that call from me that morning, and she was crying, and then I just bawled. I think I called one of you or both of you, and I was just like, this is why we need to continue what we're doing. And this is why it's so important that despite the things that happen, the challenges, the chaos, and whatever it is, all that business stuff at the end of the day that we have to figure out, we still need to listen to our members, our Mama Z's, who she's a retired employee who is on a strict budget, but she still wanted to come to Synergy, and we figured things out for her. Yeah. You know, and it's moments like that, sorry I'm tearing, that continue to inspire me.
Absolutely. And that goes along the same lines of there's fitness, there's nutrition, but there's also that social wellness, the spiritual, you know, I mean, we don't even want to call it spiritual, but getting even more from just the energy of the people around you, right?
And that's why I think, you know, even for us, and our name couldn't be any more fitting than what it is it's the Synergy. It really is a holistic place to be, whether, you know, you have the wellness, you have the nutrition, because we do encourage a lot of healthy eating, and we have a lot of partners that we partner with that, you know, they're in the field of nutrition, and that we constantly either promote or work with, so that we can come up with new things that we can introduce to to our members in the studio, and also those that are not members. But it really is about that holistic wellness, the
Absolutely.
mind, body, spirit, energy. It's all combination of all. I mean, you can be the fittest person, but if you are not mentally or emotionally, well, then it's hard. It's
Right.
I mean, that really the energy that you put into your body, that plays a vital role in how well we live our lives.
Absolutely. And on that note, what inspires you to do what you do and continue at it?
I think for me, it really is my kids. They are my everyday inspiration. It's cliche because everybody says that, right? But it really is when you get to wake up and when you feel good about what you do and yourself, you can be a better parent, and it motivates you to continue to drive. But mine is a lot of combination of different things, and I don't know if it's a blessing or what it is, but I'm a very easily inspired person. So, I have a lot of combination, a lot of different things that inspire me. Obviously, like Lily, it's our members. I mean, when you see the transformation and the change in other people's lives, and, when business, when it gets hard and when it gets tough through the years, when you look at the end of the year thank you Christmas cards and, just the thank yous that we get from our members, and we've been a part of so many different changes.
Yeah.
And I think when people talk about that, it reminds you of why we have the studio. And it tells us, it motivates us. And, I'm glad that you talked about the meanings behind motivating and motivation and inspiration. Because you continue to be motivated when you're in class, and when you see someone that's either older than you, particularly for me, we have the same morning group, and I've been working out with this morning group for, I want to say 8 years, maybe more. And these guys are phenomenal. We have one gal, her name is Sarah, and everybody knows her, Sarah Morrison, but she really does kick ass in that class. And,
every class I see her.
And really, and when we're running on the treadmill and she's going faster than us, we're like, how do we get that energy? And that's what inspires you,
And
it's the Mama Z's and the Sarahs, and, and everybody in the class. We've had people that have had to leave off island and come back on island, and, they've had to take care of their health, but they still come straight back to the studio. And that's inspiring for us as instructors, because, we've seen these members' journeys, and when
we're part of their lives.
Yeah, we're part of their lives, but when you can continue to create friendships within the studio, and then when you get to understand and know people on a personal level, you also get inspired by what their inspiration is, what inspires them. But I think, a lot of different things. Obviously, it's going to always fall back to my kids. My kids are my number one. They wake me up even when I have to get up at it's funny, I teach a 5 a.m. class, and I had my 6-year-old, at the age of 5, he actually just got up every single morning before school, and he'd be my partner, and he was, he'd come and he'd hang out at 5 a.m. and then we'd have to go home, get him ready for school, and then drop him to school. And
I can't even imagine my son doing that.
But he woke up every morning and he'd run out and he was like, are you going to Synergy? Are we going to Synergy? Okay, I'm going to get ready. And he's just up like that. So, but a lot of different things that inspire us. I think equally, all of us, we motivate each other and inspire each other, our members, our families, and then, at the end of the day, when we see the community, and even when we're driving and you see more people that are running out in the, whether it's a Paseo or along East Hagåtña or Tumon, it just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
That people are understanding the importance of fitness and wellness.
Well, you mentioned that those within Synergy, the instructors, our members, us, each other, our families, our kids, our parents, but you said also the community. And on that note, when we first opened in 2004, it was literally another gym, actually 2 other gyms than us. And in the past 15 years, it's blossomed into, which is great to have, so much more awareness of fitness and wellness, and now like even detox and cleansing and like has become an actual, it's not just a little niche, it's like everyone talks about cleansing and holistic and whatnot. So we've really seen this explosion on Guam of other fitness studios and gyms, and how, it's competition, and competition's healthy. It forces us to step it up, level up. But how do you feel Synergy still stands out? What makes Synergy unique from the other studios and gyms?
I think, for us, it's always been, like, I'll go back to, the holistic and the oneness and the fitness and wellness. And, more than ever, I mean, especially as we've transitioned in our lives, the importance of yoga. And you know, I'm a very cardiocentric person, right? So I love the sweat, and I love the constant jumping, and you know, hard on my knees and things like that. And you know, that just comes from.
I think all your students will agree with you. You love cardio, high intensity cardio.
But I think when you can find a gym that offers an array of everything, from the dance, for those that are dance lovers, the music lovers, to your yoga and your, you know, the breathing, and the importance of getting away from the hustle and bustle of just the day or the week, and coming into your own zen and being able to breathe and, you know, almost reset.
Right,
you know,
right,
I think that's important,
yeah.
And just recently, last year, that's kind of something I've been putting a part of my schedule. And you know, I think that's really what's differentiated Synergy, is that we have a combination of different classes, an array of different things, and you know, there's an energy and a spirit within the studio that constantly has just been there, and that just continues to grow.
Literally too.
Literally.
Yes. We're not going to go there though. But on that note, there's also classes that we have coined, and we basically are just unique to Synergy. There's, aside from bar sweat, there's a tread and shred, the center spin, center cycle. So that's another thing where, you know, is
and the hitbox.
Hitbox, yeah.
And I think that's what we all started with, was hitbox.
Yeah,
it was,
that's what brought us all together.
Yeah, and it's nice because, like I mentioned earlier, when the studio first opened in 2004, it was 2 classes. You had hitbox, and then you had yoga.
Yeah.
And then it expanded to dance, and then
there was also Pilates.
Pilates.
Yeah.
And then, you know, from there, little by little, we started taking more of what is now Payless Mighty.
Right.
But we started with taking up more rooms, and then adding more classes. And you know, I think the growth that Synergy had is we weren't too fast. We grew with the community, and we grew with what we can handle. And you know, I think for myself personally, just the synergy that we even have amongst each other. It's, you know, Lily mentioned that people ask, oh, you guys been open for so long, and how have you guys stayed partners? And a lot of that is, you know, yes, there are days that we have to agree that we're going to disagree on certain things, but we also stay within our realm. You know, we have Claire, you take care of all the marketing for us, and just that creative mindset, right? And you know, Lily takes care of operations. I always tell everyone in business and in my other field that I'm in is, I've never known someone to make letting go of people such a talent. She does it so well, and you know, but you know, just the way that she can, that she can work with our team, and when she can work with our members that, you know, have recommendations for us to continue to grow. You know, she does really well in playing that role.
Right.
But we all play a different role within the studio, and I think understanding each other's roles, it's really gotten to us, to the studio, and also individually ourselves, but collectively, us as business partners. That's really where the growth came from.
Yeah.
I think we're like a puzzle. You know, like you mentioned our strengths, and like I can't do what Judy does, like with the numbers. And then you've got the whole creative side. I remember when we first started, remember Claire? Let's just do all donation-based classes. I think we sat and I looked at Judy and I'm like, Claire, we cannot afford to do that. We have to pay bills. So it's interesting. We have these conversations about where we started and where we are and moving forward. And we're always still doing that. Hey, what if we do this? And then Judy brings us back. Hey guys, look at the numbers. You know, this is where we need to be at the end of the year. And then it's like, oh yeah, and then maybe we can hire more staff. And then Judy's like, no, let's logistically look at this. How can? And I'm like, oh, okay. But I love the level of respect and understanding and the open communication that we have. You know, because ego could so easily play into it. But we're not even there. And even if that were to happen, there's at least one of us.
We'll put the other two in
check. A text or call. Hey, watch it. Slow down there. You know, and that's what's awesome.
And that's what family's about.
Yeah.
You know, families get into little squabbles, and it always takes the one person that will be like, okay, I'm the sound mind here.
And then if all else fails, go take a class, and we all come back and be like, okay, the endorphins are ready. We are good to keep going.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Or do a detox.
Yeah.
Which is what I want to bring up next is it's the new year. You know, we have the boot camp coming up with Tabitha today.
Yes.
Right?
Today, yeah.
We have a couple other corporate events that we're doing, but We have the detox leading up to a soulcation. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So the detox, it's 21 days. We're keeping it to the 21 days. It starts on the 19th with a discourse. And then you would sign up at Synergy. Are we beyond the early bird rate?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are.
Until the 14th, I believe.
14th. And the food is being provided by Fu'una Culture with Jenny Kaufman. So you would just sign up over at Synergy. We'll provide the discourse. You get pure trim. We'll do a 1-800, as you go through the process. So it's 3 weeks. You go from a plant-based cook to a raw to a liquid. So it's still the traditional, but what we've added is that during the 3 weeks, you're allowed to take any of the classes at Synergy. We also are connected with the wellness, so you'll get the opportunity to do the infrared sauna, the crystal light bed, the Normatec, pulse recovery. So it's a complete package deal with a really good rate. So
and the pre and post assessments.
Yes.
So now we have BMI, your
body
weight,
fat,
and even muscle percentage as well.
Yes.
And so the beautiful thing, like with detox, this is something that 2006, so basically, right, 14 years that we've been with the 21-day detox, and it's the tried and true, going from, because a lot of people, we've said it from the beginning, we're not trying to convert anyone into veganism, but it's about giving the body a break, and just for 3 weeks, allowing it to cleanse out, like you said, to do the plant-based, raw plant-based, and liquid plant-based. And like you're saying as well, you have the option to have the meals from Fu'una Cultures, from Jenny, but there's other places on island where we'll recommend. And another beautiful thing is we have our WhatsApp chat, and we stay connected every day. We could have one-on-one conversations with everybody involved, or you just look at your group chat and to see what is like the inspiration of the day. You're great about always having like daily inspirationals, and it's exciting because it's going to end at Retidian Eco Beach Resort for the Soulcation. And so the Soulcation, either you want to share a little bit about that? The wellness retreat? I could share about it.
You can share it.
So this will be our second year. Last year we had two of them. Or three. No,
Three.
Yeah, we had 3. So basically it's 2 days, 1 night, glamping at Retidian Eco Beach Resort. That place is amazing. The Artero brothers, Mark and Eric and Ange, Reyes Guzman. It's their space, and they open it up to us for the weekend, and we basically, all week is anything and everything you could think of wellness related, right? So there's massage that's offered, there's intuitive readings, there's yoga classes, there's meditation, and it's a full moon. So we're gonna have a full moon release ceremony at night along with a meditation. We've also had in the past a voice meditation, which is kind of like kirtan. We did some like kirtan singing. We've had deep breath work. We have pranayama practice, and all these things are optional. So it's not like, okay, I have to do all of this, Saturday and Sunday. It's optional. You pick and choose what you want to be a part of. But we really, we encourage, if you're going to spend money on this, that you try all the different things. And if it doesn't resonate, you can just walk away, go to your tents. And so it's glamping. So there's tents, there's hammocks, there's beach beds, and I kid you not, the restrooms there are clean. They're cleaner than, and you'd be amazed. It's a beach, it's a beach house type pavilion, but the showers are super clean and new, and toilets. So
if people don't want to sleep over, can they do a day?
Yeah. So there's also the option to just come Saturday, just come Sunday, or do both days and just not spend the night. But you're really missing out on the whole experience. So those who are just coming, it's the last weekend of the detox, and those who want to join the Soulcation, rather, because you'd have to pay separate to do the Soulcation. But if they just wanted to come and be a part of the Sunday potluck, they just show up, and of course everything the entire week is going to be plant-based, raw plant-based. Yep, and of course, of all places, you're up there at Aru now. Beautiful up there. It's like such an auspicious part of the island. And you're right there with nature, and everything and anything holistic and health, wellness is going to be a part of that weekend.
Now this is the perfect opportunity to start something and reset. It's the beginning of the new year. You know, if you're not sure how to do your nutrition, this is a good way to start. Do a detox, and then from there figure out, you know, where you want to be for the rest of the year.
Yeah, because I've heard people ask, of course, you know, we put it all on social media. They're like, man, I really want to do this, but you know, I don't know if I could take away, you know, a weekend to myself. And I'm just like, this is a weekend for yourself. You know, we all have busy schedules. We all have, you know, busy lives and like kids and parents and work, but this is a 3-day weekend. I believe that weekend's a 3-day weekend. But anyways, it's a Saturday to a Sunday. And I, especially now with, you know, aging parents, I have found that if I don't take care of myself first and have a little bit of retrieve and just my time, I can't provide and help anyone else. If I don't have the rest and the rejuvenation and the revitalization, you know, to kind of refresh myself, I you know, I can't be that much more to anyone else, really, to my parents or my kids or any of my loved ones or students and whatnot. So, in closing, is there anything else you guys want to share?
You know, if, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, come and visit us at the studio. You know, like I said, is we've really put a really great studio together with products that we feel that tailor to each individual. And you know, our staff are well trained as well. Stop by, let us know really what are your fitness and wellness goals are, and then let us help you put a schedule together of the different classes. We talked a little bit earlier about, you know, what differentiates Synergy from a lot of the other fitness businesses that are out there, and the biggest thing is that we have an array of different classes. And you can mix and match the different classes. You can have your strength and your core exercises, and then you have your dancing, your fun, and then you go to yoga and, you know, resetting the mind, and then you can go into the detox. But all of our programs are always discounted to our members, so definitely the membership program is something that you want to sign up with. This month we have 3 exciting things that are happening for us. Well, we had 4. We opened up the year with yoga on the beach, which we're going to have more of this year. We got
a lot more requests. People saw it after the fact. They're like, wait, I didn't know about this. How do I find out about the next one? So yeah.
So a lot of it's all on Instagram. You know, it's a lot about the following and at the studio. So, you know, stop by. This month we have 2 boot camps that are going on simultaneously. We have an evening boot camp, and then we have the morning boot camp. It's the
We're
rest of
completely sold out for the morning, but we do have spaces for the evenings.
And it comes with pre and post assessments, and it's high intensity interval training classes. And then
that's with Tabitha.
Tabitha, yes. And then from there, we have the Soulcation and the detox coming up, and then just stay tuned for more of the blitz on beach yoga.
Yes. And then I just realized you didn't answer any. Did you want to also share about what differentiates Synergy from other studios, or you think Judy pretty much?
I think Judy pretty much put it in a nutshell. And then, you know, just the energy, the energy not only between the participants, but I think the energy between us. People feel our energy, they see us. You're not going to get a lot of owners of a business that are so involved, not only visible, but teach classes, and we're there. And they see us. You know, we have our meetings over at Synergy, and people, oh, okay.
And we're very involved.
We have a very open door policy. Everyone knows our cell phone numbers, so.
And we're we do a lot of community events. Like we said, we have the donation classes. The upcoming, I think everyone gets excited for, is the Kick the Fat. So we'll be there, and
we're going to be doing one of the warm-ups, as well as we're going to be doing the cool down after the race at the wellness tent. We're going to be leading a 1-hour yoga flow.
Yes.
For those who didn't feel like the race was enough.
So we're celebrating our 16th year this year. It's going to be really exciting. And yeah, just follow us. Come into the studio. We're very visible, so if you know any of us, just let us know. And we're just excited to get really continue with the growth of Synergy, and you know, continue to be a part of the fitness and wellness journey of the community.
Absolutely. And okay, so you mentioned Instagram, Facebook, but they could also get all this information on our website.
Yes.
Right. Our number is 472 Yoga,
synergyguam.com, and then Synergy 671. So yeah, and then obviously, you know, we have 2 satellite locations. We do a lot of partnerships as well. So one of the long-standing events that we've had, that partnerships that we've had, was with the Do Sit. So we do 7 classes a week there, and it's open to our members as well. So you also get that part of your membership. And then we have our satellite location.
Yoga and Aqua Zumba.
Yes.
And Aqua
Teacher.
And then we have our satellite location, which is all our yoga classes. And then we have a Zumba class down there on Fridays. And then, of course, our really nice building in Hagåtña, which we were really proud to be a part of the build-up for. But, you know, we have our partners there, which is Purebred. So, you know, one of the great things about there, like tonight, I have a class at 5:30, but my youngest is going to be taking a class with a bird. So, you know, you kind of drop the kids off there, you go do your thing, and, you know, you kind of
really
just...
works out.
You take care of yourself and you take care of family. What a wonderful place to be.
Yeah. And it's amazing, and it's no coincidence that our building, which is now a fitness wellness facility, was once a dialysis center. It went from a dialysis center to a fitness wellness center. And that goes to show, I foresee the evolution of where we're moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all about wellness. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks for coming in, and I'm so excited about this year and this new decade ahead. Thank you. You can find this show and all the other shows on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, SoundCloud, I have to read it off, and YouTube. Thanks. See you next time.